Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a beauty haul but also kind of a first impressions. I got a few of these with birthday money, which was back in May, so I've had a couple of them for a month or so, but I haven't shown them to you guys yet. And the reason for me getting almost a whole new set of makeup and brushes is because I've recently gone vegan and I'm more interested in making sure that everything I use is cruelty free and vegan. There are quite a lot of products that are new and they're pretty much all on my face. So this is just going to be a talk through of all of those products, what I think of them and sort of a first impression. So I hope you enjoy this video. I will link all the products I can in the description below and I will put next to them whether they're cruelty free or vegan or both or not. And yeah, if you want to go check those out, they'll be down there. Let's go. I'm either going to be looking in my screen, which is over here, or I'm going to be looking in a mirror, which will be sort of down here. So apologies if I'm looking in either of those directions. The first product is the Unlimited Foundation by KIKO, and this is in the shade Warm Beige 15, which I believe is the lightest yellow tone foundation they have. I didn't know anything about KIKO, I'd never tried their products before, and this is the first time I'm going to try them. And I found out about the brand because one of you guys recommended it to me on Instagram when I was looking for lip colours, and that was Patagutana. I'm really sorry, I can't pronounce it, but Elena, which is really cool. So thank you, Elena, for recommending that. I really love KIKO's sort of branding and things before I've even used their products, because their products aren't really very expensive, but they're not cheap. They're sort of somewhere in between high-end and high street, which is perfect for me because I have expensive taste and not a very hefty wallet. So I like to sort of go somewhere in between. And they come in like nice boxes like MAC products do, which just makes me happy. I don't know, cardboard box floats my boat. But the packaging's lovely, it's frosted and has this lovely top and a pump, which I always approve of because no one wants to pour foundation out. And the foundation I was using previously was number 51 in Bourjois Healthy Mix. That's them next to each other. I will show you on my hand as well. This is the KIKO one and this is the Bourjois one. They look like quite a similar consistency, but I do think the KIKO one might be a higher coverage. So normally I do mix white in with my foundation, but I'm going to try it without just for today. I'm going to apply it with my next new product, which is the 104 Buffer Brush from Zoeva, and I got this to replace my Kabuki brush from Sigma because as far as I know that brush wasn't cruelty free or vegan, so this one is, which is great. It is much thicker, I can tell already. It doesn't really seem to be moving much when I put it on my skin, and it seems to be really quite high coverage, which I don't know how I feel about that because I like a high coverage, but I don't want to look like I've got a load of makeup on, even though I do. I don't know. I like it to look more natural. It dries really fast, which I'm not a fan of that. So this is one layer, which I think is actually quite a good match for my skin. I don't think I've got any lines. It does feel a little heavy, and I don't know whether that's just because I've taken off makeup and put it back on again and my skin's a bit like, but yeah, I feel like I can feel it on my skin. It's definitely matte, like it seems to have dried already and I don't feel like I would have to set it. I'm going to because I always do and I dance all day, so I don't want my makeup smudging about. But so far, pleasantly surprised. The next product I'm going to try is the NYX concealer in the shade 01. This is actually lighter than the Collection 2000 one, which I was using before. That's those next to each other. In terms of cruelty-free things, I'm pretty sure NYX are parent company that aren't cruelty-free, which I'm not happy with. I will confirm that in the description box below, but I feel like this is one step closer to getting to cruelty-free, but I find it really, really hard to find cruelty-free products that are pale because I am very pale. So if you do know of any really pale concealers that are cruelty free, please leave them in the description below, because if this is parent company, I don't want to be using it, but I feel like it's one step closer to being cruelty free. It's got a doe foot applicator, which I like because it's similar to what I'm used to, and I'm just going to pop this under my eyes. Whoa, that is bright. good thing though, I guess. And I'm going to blend that in with my finger because that's what I always do with my other one. Ah, put myself in the eye. One thing I always do, which might be a bit of an odd tip and probably not what you're supposed to do, but I always take a bit of concealer and drag it along my waterline. It kind of works like those nude like highlighter thing pencils. What am I talking about? It kind of works like those nude eyeliner pencils that people put in their waterline, but it just does it in one go. Okay, that is way too much product, but hey, we'll work with it. Next up is Revolution's Pressed Powder in Translucent, and this is to replace my Rimmel Stay Matte in Translucent. And this looks more yellow and this looks more pink. It's supposed to be transparent, so I don't think that really matters. But I'm not a huge fan of this packaging. It does this. I don't know, not really a fan. And to apply that, I'm going to use a really old brush from Body Shop, which I desperately need to replace. I'm going to try and be quite light-handed with this because I feel like this is quite matte already and I don't want to go crazy. So I'm just going to set what's there. That was quick and simple. I don't have any issues with this product. The only issues I would have with like a setting product is if it had colour in it, but it doesn't, so good. On to eyes. I got an eyeshadow from KIKO and I wasn't intending on getting this, but I saw one that was very similar in the sale, but they were out of stock on it, so I got this one instead. But it was just because it was so sparkly and so beautiful, and it's sparkly and I love sparkles. I'm going to apply that with, again, a very old eyeshadow brush from Topshop. I need to replace my eyeshadow brushes. I just need to replace a lot of my brushes. When I saw this in the shop, it was beautiful and really sparkly and gorgeous, but now that I've got it home and it's on my skin, it doesn't seem to be as sparkly, which is kind of annoying. Next up is an eyeshadow palette, and this is one that I've sort of made myself in a way, and it is in this big palette here. This palette I actually got on eBay for a couple of quid, and in it are MakeupGeek eyeshadows because I found out that MakeupGeek eyeshadows are cruelty free and they have vegan ones as well. The ones in here that aren't are this one, this one, this one and this one, and they are my old MAC shadows, but I'm just trying to get rid of them, use them up, and then eventually this will all be beautifully cruelty free and vegan. But because the KIKO eyeshadow didn't really float my boat, I'm going to use this one here. This one also doesn't have amazing payoff, but I think it's just because I'm pale and it's not much of a contrast. I'm then going to use this colour, which is Cinderella, and then this one here. So I'm going to take the lighter pink and just put that in my outer corner. These pale colours just don't seem to show up on me. Then I'm taking the darker one and putting that in the crease. And because it's one extreme to the other and that's ridiculously pigmented, I'm going to blend it out with the setting brush from Real Techniques. I don't normally use this as a blending brush, but the one I normally use, which is again a Sigma brush, which is the E35, I've been using for highlight because basically a brush broke and then I had to swap them all around and I haven't washed them since. So yeah, for now it's this. And I also want to replace the Sigma ones as well. Then I'm taking this little angle brush, which I have no idea where it's from, and using this sparkly brown down here, which is a MakeupGeek one. Again, I'll link what they're called down below. And I'm just dragging that along the waterline. The next new product is Revolution's Amazing Volume Mascara, and I picked this because I used to use, I think it's Rimmel, it's the red one. I don't have it here to show you, unfortunately, but again, I'll link that in the description. But don't buy it because it's not cruelty free. But I picked it because it has a massive brush, but in hindsight, I think this brush is way too big because it's just, like, I put it on my eyelashes and it's just massive. I do like this product. I just think next time I'm going to get one of the ones with a smaller brush because this is just huge. I mean, I was trying to avoid those like little thin plasticky rubbery ones because I do not like them. I like ones that are more like fibred, if that's a word. Fibred? I don't know, we'll go with it. But this, I mean, it does the job. And I've also worn this at college, dancing and sweating all day, and it stayed on really well. It hasn't crusted off horribly. And I've also noticed that with some mascaras I've used, they have like a really weird crumbly or waxy texture to them when you try and take them off, but this just comes off really nicely, which is good. Should have curled my eyelashes. Oh well. Clumpage going on. Sort that out. Is that better? Not really. Also, another thing I like about this is the packaging is very sleek and simple. Packaging wise, I tend to go for things that are black and clean and sleek, and I don't really like crazy colours or gimmicky packaging. I like things to just look neat and tidy and, I don't know, clean. The brows are on. The next new product, which I have had for a few weeks now, is the Sleek Contour Kit, which is just the highlighter and the bronzer, and I have that in light, obviously. I really like this. I've been wearing it pretty much every day since I got it, and the highlighter isn't too ridiculous, and the bronzer isn't too ridiculous. I think I'm sensing a bit of a theme here, that I don't like anything that's too extreme. I like things to be kind of soft and mediocre is not the word I'm going for. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I don't like anything that's too brown. Wow, that looks ridiculous on camera. You know, I promise you, in real life, it doesn't look that mental. Let's blend it out. Maybe it's not actually the bronzer, maybe that's just my face. And the bronze is just enhancing it a little bit. Because, yeah, I haven't put any on this side and it's slightly darker. I'm using that brush I was on about earlier that I blended my eyeshadow out with, which probably isn't the best practice. But yeah, normally use a Zoeva brush, but I left that at college because I'm stupid. I feel like this blends in really well. Then with the highlight, I'm using the Sigma E35 brush, which I don't think is cruelty free, which makes me upset, and also is not the best brush for highlighting, but brush mix up caused that. So putting that in the usual spots for highlight. I like this because I think it's quite subtle. I don't feel like it's really bright, and it doesn't seem really pink or really yellow or really gold. And I'm also taking that on the brow bone. The next and last new product is a KIKO lipstick, and this is in Empowered Mauve. And KIKO have loads of different lip products, different finishes, different things. It's all a bit confusing. But this one is like a bit like a chubby stick, and it looks like that. So it looks like a lipstick at the end, but it's more like a chubby stick. I picked this one up because it was quite similar to the colour I was looking for, which I mentioned on Instagram. But I also picked up the one Elena recommended for me, which is the creamy colour lip liner in 305, which looks like this. I love the packaging, this is beautiful, and I'll be wearing it in my next video. So if you want to see what this looks like, make sure you watch my next video next week. They are different, but I feel like they kind of provide a similar thing for me, which is sort of a dampened version of what I like to wear. So it's a more subtle red or a more subtle sort of nudey kind of colour. I say nude, this wouldn't be nude to anyone, but to me it's nude because I pretty much always wear red. This is called Finish Line Lipstick, although I keep calling it Chubby Stick, and it's in 06 Empowered Mauve. And I love it. It's that kind of, I hate to say it, your lips but better, but it's lovely, sort of subtle colour, but still being kind of red and kind of dark, but kind of nude all at the same time. I don't know, I just really like it. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if there are any products you think I should try. I would love to hear about them, and I shall see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching. I love you guys. Bye! And then I'll take a bobby pin or hair grip and just pin it in place. Then I'll go in and pull up bits to shape it how I want.